This motherboard makes absolutely no sense, and I kind of love it. This is the ASUS ROG Crosshair X870E Extreme Glacial, and it's basically ASUS going all in on one idea. What if we made the most overbuilt white motherboard possible and just didn't stop adding stuff? And yeah, first time I saw this thing was at CES. I saw it in person. I immediately started planning for a full build around it. I didn't know the price. I didn't know compatibility. I just saw it and thought, yeah, this is gonna be a problem. Now, if you've heard the Glacial name before, it used to mean something a little different, okay? It used to be like built-in water cooling, very custom loop focused, very niche. This is not that. And it's more like luxury flagship board that just happens to be white with everything ASUS could possibly fit onto it, which honestly makes way more sense for most people. But here's where this board gets a little interesting, because even just looking at it and going through everything, it kind of feels like two different ideas happening at the same time. One side, this thing is like ridiculous, like actually ridiculous. You got 24 plus 2 power stage design with 110 amp stages, which just basically means you're realistically never going to stress this thing in a normal build. I don't care what CPU you put in here, it's overkill. You've got support for 256 gigs of DDR5 memory, and yeah, it can go way up there in speeds, but that's always just gonna depend on your CPU and memory kit more than anything. You got PCI Express 5.0 for your GPU, and then there's the storage solution. It's just honestly kind of insane. You get up to 7 M.2 drives. 7, and it's not just like, oh yeah, technically 7 if you do weird stuff. No, ASUS fully leaned into this. You've got a few on the board itself. You've got the DIMM.2 module on the side. You've got the Hyper M.2 add-on card. It's just basically turning your motherboard into a storage hub at this point, and you're not even building a gaming PC anymore. You are like building something closer to a workstation, or just something that can pretty much hold a ridiculous amount of fast storage. And then we got the dual 10 gig LAN, not 2.5, not 5, dual 10, which is just one of those features where if you need it, you're gonna really need it, and if you don't, you're just kind of sitting there like, all right, cool, I have it. You've got like Wi-Fi 7, USB 4, ton of USB on the back, 14 rear USB ports, including the 2 USB 4 Type-C, and then everything else is basically 10 gig. And then on the front, you got even more, including dual 20 gig Type-C, one of them doing up to 60 watts. So from a connectivity standpoint, guys, there's basically nothing missing here. And then visually, this thing just looks insane. All white, silver accents, massive heat sinks, and this big 5-inch LCD screen on the board that actually slides, which sounds kind of random until you start to think about your rear fan maybe blocking it, and then it starts to make a lot of sense. And then there's actually one feature here that I wish more motherboards would start doing. That's called the AIO Q Connector. This is one of those things that sounds small until you've built a few systems and you're pretty much tired of routing cables everywhere. Instead of running your AIO cables up and around your RAM and trying to hide everything to make it look aesthetically nice, ASUS gives you a single connector on the board that handles power, USB, RGB, all of it. So if your cooler supports it, you just pretty much drop it in and you're done. No extra cables hanging around, and for a board like this where everything is supposed to look clean, that actually makes a big difference. And then there's the ROG Memory Q fan, which is basically a little magnetic fan that snaps near the DIMM area to cool your RAM. Now, I haven't personally used something like this yet, but I get the idea. High-speed DDR5 can get a little spicy, so extra airflow is never a bad thing. And I do like that it just snaps in with no cables. That's actually really clean. Now, whether people actually use it long term, I guess that's just gonna depend on the build, but it's like definitely something that is very interesting, and I don't normally see it. So at this point, you're probably thinking, okay, that's pretty cool, but what's the catch? Because there has to be one, right? And honestly, just looking at how this is designed, you kind of see where things might get a little interesting once you actually start building in it. This motherboard is designed to look super clean right out the box. Like when I say super clean, guys, I'm talking about showroom clean. And then, you know, you start to think about where all your cables are gonna go. You start noticing little things. For example, this big bottom cover looks amazing. It hides everything, keeps the board looking really clean. And then, you know, I noticed it actually has magnets. Not a lot of reviewers talked about this. You can actually lift it up slightly and pretty much get that extra clearance so you can plug in your PWM, your USB, your ARGB cables all to the header. And that's pretty cool because instead of removing it, like you can just give yourself a bit more room and keep it overall like looking clean. And then you've got also this large cover around the PCI Express area. It looks amazing, but the moment you install a GPU, which I know nobody will buy this motherboard without installing a dedicated GPU, you find yourself in a situation where you have to remove it. And it looks incredible out of the box. And then once your GPU is in it, you're not really gonna see that part anymore. You can put it next to your desk or something. It's not a bad thing, just something you kind of realize as you pretty much think through your build. Same thing with expansion in general. You've got all these options, especially with storage, but it also means you're probably going to spend a bit of time deciding pretty much how you want everything set up. Like with PCI Express lanes, you can run full X16 for your GPU, or split it, or allocate bandwidth to your storage, or add in cards. It's pretty flexible, but it's not just plug and play. You actually have to think about how you want to use this board before you even actually start building. And here's a little quick nerd detail. One of the Gen 5 M.2 slots actually shares bandwidth with the USB 4. So if you use that M.2 slot, both it and the USB 4 can run at reduced speeds, bandwidth, and if you force that M.2 slot to full speed, in BIOS, USB 4 gets disabled, which is just one of those things you'd want to know going into a build, so pretty much nothing catches you off guard later. Now check this out, folks. This is an important part because none of this is really negative. And to be real with you guys, from what I've seen performance-wise, this thing is like top tier, like no question. If you care about power delivery, stability, storage expansion, high-speed networking, this guy is like one of the best AM5 boards you can buy. But at this level, it's not just about performance anymore, guys. It's also about how it looks, how it feels to build with, and what kind of build you're actually trying to put together. And that's where I think this board gets a little bit more specific, because if you're building a high-end white showcase PC, maybe a custom loop, something super clean that you actually want to display, this thing makes a lot of sense. But if you're just trying to build, I don't know, a normal high-end gaming PC, this might be way more than you need. Like, I don't think people that are not gonna do all that crazy stuff is gonna need 7 M.2 drives. Probably won't need dual 10 gig LAN. You don't need this level of VRM. At that point, you're just paying for the idea of the board as much as what it can actually do. And honestly, guys, it's kind of what this motherboard really feels like. It's a showcase piece. It's ASUS pushing everything to the limit and showing what they can actually do, and hats off to them. But it might not be for everyone, but it's really just hard not to want it as well. So am I gonna be building with this? Yeah, we're gonna be throwing this inside Frost, but now that I know all this stuff I know about this, it's one of those boards you actually build around. You don't just drop it in a system. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Would you actually build with something like this? Or is this one of those boards you just appreciate from a distance? I'll tell you, it just looks beautiful. Tons of connectivity. It's an EATX motherboard, $1,200. It's a lot of money, but it just looks too damn good. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. All your comments are appreciated. Much love to you guys. Make sure you subscribe for more content coming your way. Throw a thumbs up if you appreciate this video. And until the next video, I will catch you on the next one.